Hello and welcome to Rule of Three's review for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One launch lineup. I'm Roy Manan, and it's just me today. For those of you who've been following our blog at Rule of 3, this is pretty much how it's going to be from now on. We're going to have one more video with all three of us, but for this one I have notes from the other two to put in their input on each one of these games. So that's just going to be for this video. After this, though, it's going to be changing a little bit. But anyway, so I'm going to start off with the PS4 launch games, and then I'll move into the Xbox One games. Originally, this was only be PlayStation 4, but I got my hands on the Xbox One over at a friend's house and was able to play some of the games for a while and form some opinions. So for those ones, it's just going to be my opinion. So let's start it off with Killzone Shadowfall. So Killzone Shadowfall is the fourth game in the Killzone franchise. It takes place years after the events of 3, and you play as a undercover ISA agent, part of a group called Shadowfall, and you're basically in the middle of a Cold War, just trying to make sure it doesn't turn into a full-blown war with the Helghast, who are now living on the same planet as the ISA, and it just kind of goes from there. So from my perspective, the storyline was pretty good. I did enjoy it much more than I did 3. Synyster had kind of a similar idea. He also enjoyed the story mode, although he felt that 2 is still the best in total story. And Synyster Impressions actually didn't get to play Shadowfall because he didn't buy it. Gameplay-wise, it's very much unchanged from the previous ones. You have 2 guns. Stealth plays a little bit more important role in this, at least in the campaign mode. And overall, I really enjoyed how the game played. I had a lot of fun with all the different things you do, because it has kind of a Deus Ex kind of feel to where, you know, you have to do a mission, but there's, you know, 2 or 3 ways you can do it. You can either run or gun, stealth, or, you know, kind of a combination of the two. And it worked really well, and I did enjoy that. Synyster also enjoyed that aspect. He very much enjoyed the option of doing a lot more stealth in this one versus the previous ones. And overall, I give this one a buy. If you have a PlayStation 4, I think this is probably one of the games you need to buy for it. It looks gorgeous and it plays a lot of good, and Synyster also gave it a buy for pretty much the same reasons. So moving on, we're going to go into Battlefield 4. Now, while this is not exclusive, we did play this, and I wanted to do this one for the new gen because it does have 64-player multiplayer, which is awesome when it works. I'll get to that in a minute. Story-wise, none of us cared for it. It's your typical military shooter storyline. Nothing real good there. Multiplayer and gameplay mechanics. So gameplay mechanics are pretty much the same. You have different guns, different loadouts, you have vehicles. Nothing a whole lot new in that category. But the way that they do the perks are a little different. Instead of it being your overall rank unlocks them, it's your base class has sets of perks you can unlock per loadout. And that's a little bit of a change up, but otherwise it's still, you know, you go into a map, you kill people, you get experience points, you rank up, and you unlock stuff. So with that, we get to the problems with multiplayer, and I'll give all 3 of our perspectives on that. When it works, it's good. Right now, Battlefield 4 is probably one of the buggiest games I've ever played. It kicks you out of matches randomly when you're doing 64. Originally, we couldn't even do 64-player. Those were not even up, apparently, for some dumb reason. We were stuck doing the normal 32, 16v16 death matches and objective-based. So, when it works, it's great. It's probably I enjoy a lot better than Call of Duty. Same with the other 2, Synyster and Impressions. Overall, we all give this one a buy when it works, pass when it doesn't, because when the multiplayer is not working, the game is crap, storyline-wise, and it's just not really there. But when it works, the game is fantastic. So EA, I know, is working on a fix for it. As soon as that comes out, obviously, we'd all just say buy it. But for right now, until that's fixed, we're kind of, you know, saying wait until it's fixed to play it. That's basically what we're saying. Next on the PlayStation 4 list is Knack. I was the only one who played Knack because I'm the only one who wanted to for reasons. Knack is a platformer in the kind of vein of Spyro, Crash, and kind of those older ones. The storyline is you play as Knack, a little robot guy who's able to take upon little pieces of blocks and stuff and build himself up into a massive monster. There's some human elements, and you're basically fighting orcs in order to save the world. Kind of basic storyline. But I did enjoy the story. I thought it was really, it's cute, it's fun, definitely family friendly. And that was that. Gameplay-wise, it's hard. I played this one on medium first, and that was, fairly difficult. And then I jumped the difficulty up to hard, and that kicked my butt pretty easily. So, my only issues with the game were the camera was kind of funky every now and then, and overall, just the gameplay mechanics worked a good chunk of the time, but there's some little minor glitches and stuff that happened during when I was playing it that unfortunately knocked it down to a rent. But it is fun. I did enjoy myself playing through it, and I still do go back to Knack every now and then because it is enjoyable. Last on the list is the game that was free if you were a PlayStation Plus, which is Resogun. Resogun is an arcade shooter. That's all that really is to it. There is no real storyline other than you're the spaceship and you're trying to save the last humans from extinction. And you do that by shooting other ships and picking them up and taking them to Green Portal. And that's really it. So storyline, we can't really get that. Gameplay-wise, though, is fantastic. You're basically going around in a giant circle, shooting left and right, and trying to survive. The game gets progressively harder as you get further in, to the point where it makes me cry because it is really difficult. There's a couple planes you can choose from, each with different stats. There's the Overload, which is it shoots the entire stage and gets rid of all the enemies. You have a boost that allows you to zoom through people to get to where you need to get faster, or just to save your butt, which you will need to do a lot in Resogun. Synyster also very much enjoyed the gameplay. It's very simple. He commented on its simplistic design and overall ease of access, but difficult to master. Impressions also gave it a very, it's fun, it's easy to get into, but the difficulty is murderous once you get to the end of level 1 for the most part. We all just gave it buys because if you're PlayStation Plus, it's free. However, if you don't have PlayStation Plus, we still highly recommend you buy it. We all said it was just a great game, and it was a lot of fun. So that's it for the PlayStation 4 games. There were more, but those are the ones that we got our hands on. So now I'm going to go to the Xbox One category, and I'm going to start with Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 3 is obviously part of the Dead Rising franchise. Story-wise, you play as, I can't remember his name at the moment, but you play as some guy in the zombie apocalypse in the southwest California area, kind of ish, deserty. And you're basically just trying to survive. I don't want to go into a whole lot because I don't like getting into spoilers with the storylines too much. But the story was okay. I thought it was definitely better than Dead Rising 2's really, really bad one. It's on par with 1, although I still like Frank West the best character-wise, but the new guy was okay. Gameplay. Now, this is part where it's got a lot better. There's two versions, or two ways to play the game. There's the classic, you're timed with objectives you have to do within a certain amount of time. And then there's a new, it's kind of just a free roam. You do what you need to do, and there's no time limit. I played without the time limit because I suck when I have time limits with time management. The weapon customization is the same, although you can do that wherever you are now instead of having to go find a workbench, which was really, really nice. You can customize vehicles to be death machines, that was fun. I wasn't too sure on that one, but after playing it, I really did enjoy customizing vehicles. And overall, it plays really well. It's really smooth. I did find some little hiccups every now and then with a couple of things, but other than that, it was fun. So I give Dead Rising 3 a buy. If you have an Xbox One, this is, I think, the one game you need to get. It was I enjoyed it a lot, and I wasn't expecting to. Honestly, I didn't expect I would enjoy Dead Rising 3 as much as I did. Next is Ryse, Son of Rome. It's a third-person game, and you pretty much, your family is killed by the Emperor, and you're on a war path to revenge to, kill him. The story was kind of I didn't really care for it. Gameplay is, I didn't use the Knack. There's some voice commands you can use, but I didn't use that. But it's just your typical third-person slash thing. Although you do have to time the button pushes a little bit more to get the combos going. which was fine. It slowed down gameplay a little bit, but you know, the gameplay overall was okay. It was, you know, fine. My biggest gripe with Ryse is it's the only game I was over at my friend's house I was able to beat while I was there in like 2.5 hours. It is short as hell. And that really hurts it in the rating, because I'm going to give Ryse a very, very low rent, almost a pass because of it. You know, the game was okay. It wasn't great. I did have a little bit of fun with it. It's very quick time heavy, but the fact that I was able to beat it in one sitting in like 2.5 hours is not something I like, and definitely it's nowhere nearby, because while the game is pretty, it's nowhere near worth the $60 they want, in my opinion. And last on the list for the Xbox One games that I played was Killer Instinct. This is another free-to-play game that is only free-to-play if you want to play one character. It doesn't have a story mode, which is a big minus in my point, because I've been spoiled by Persona 4 Arena and the Vlad Blue series of games. It's a multiplayer only, and you only start off with one character unless you pay for more, which is Jago. Overall, the fighting mechanics work. It did have all the stuff I needed to, be able to play it and have fun with it. So, if you want the free-to-play version, I don't know if it's worth it's that great, because, I got tired of playing Jago after my, second match online. And I wanted to test out some of the others, but my friend, refuses to pay for the content right now until they really release, a whole, deal, which I think they have. I think he's just ignorant, though, on that. So, Killer Instinct, I give a rent for now. Like I said, it's really hard to give that one a rating, because I only played one character, because that's all I had available. So the free-to-play version, if you play it, obviously, and if you like it, you can buy more. But until that's all I can really give Killer Instinct as a free-to-play is, play it. If you really get into the fighting mechanics, and stuff like that. I didn't get into it as much personally, but I've never been a big Killer Instinct person, to be honest. But I give it a rent, and if you want to, that's all I can give it. So sorry about the rambling there. So that's all of them in one nifty little spot. Next time I post, which should be, I'm hoping, either they're at the end of this week or the beginning of, right before the end of the year, is going to be our 2013 award show. It's going to be the last show with all three of us. We're going to be giving out our Game of the Year and Worst Game of the Year awards and a couple other things. So keep an eye out for that. Sorry this got posted a little later than I said it was. It took me forever to edit this and get it to where everything was right where I needed it to be. It's fun doing that stuff. So make sure to subscribe for more stuff, or more of our videos and updates when I post it. Check out ruler3.com for direct links to some of the other things I'll be doing. And that's it. So thanks for listening, everybody, and always remember to trust in the rule of 3.